Dear viewer, good evening and welcome to Spotlight. With me tonight, the special agent in charge of the FBI for the state of Michigan, Jennifer Runyan. Jennifer, welcome to MEA.
Thank you.
Well, we had every single special agent in charge of the FBI. He comes here, we introduce him to the community. Let's talk about yourself. Where you born, which school you went,
Yeah.
and if you end up in Michigan.
Yeah, I ended up in Michigan because I do have family here, and my husband's family is from here. But I was born in Texas
Uh-huh.
and went to college in D.C., went to college and grad school there.
Mm-hmm.
And I first worked at the Pentagon for a few years, and then I joined the FBI back in 2009. So I've been here 17 years
Yes.
and have worked and moved all over the country.
What's the last one you worked with? DC?
Yeah, the last job was in D.C.
In DC, yeah.
And before
I've
that,
been
I
to
was.
headquarters, and John Bell was there. And,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's great. Headquarters is DC is an awesome place to visit. Headquarters
Absolutely. I love DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good.
Right. So, is the FBI communicate with other law enforcement when there's something, a crime or something, or even before the crime hit there, to prevent the crime from happening? Are you communicating with other federal agency or state or local law enforcement?
Yes, so we work very closely with all of our state and local law enforcement agencies everywhere in Michigan. We have over 500 departments across our 83 counties.
I
And
see.
the FBI has many task forces, is what we call them, where we work together in a close environment to, like you said, to investigate crimes. For the FBI, crimes that have a federal nexus or something that rises to a federal jurisdiction.
Yes.
But we are always trying to stop crimes before they occur. Stop the person from
That's
giving
the
the money
best.
to the fraudster.
Yes.
Stop the attack on the school. Doing everything we can to get ahead of those threats.
I see. Because I remember about 7, 8 years ago, there was not that communication between, even the law enforcement, between city and city, there was not that. But thanks God, it's more now. When FBI get to a crime, if somebody kills somebody or big accident, somebody die or something, when the FBI will get involved in certain crime?
That's a great question. So for the FBI, we have to have a federal nexus. There has to be a federal crime.
Yes.
Which then brings us into that investigation. And oftentimes people are reporting those types of tips or suspicious activities, let's say before a murder or an attack, to our tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Okay.
We take those.
We'll put it there.
Yeah. And we take those, every tip that connects to Michigan, we analyze it, we review it, and we start investigating it. And then if there's a crime that occurs that our state or local partners need help with, we're also able to help them with additional technical assistance, resources, and bring the full host of capabilities that the FBI has across the globe to help them.
I see. Sometimes they mention the FBI is too. They didn't get there in the right time, like the one they kidnapped the old lady and all that. They're not there, or some law enforcement prevent the FBI to work in the case till it gets worse, and then they ask, please do. Yeah.
Sometimes that happens, but the relationships here in Michigan are, I think, some of the best in the country.
Yes.
And the amount of coordination, I meet with the chiefs across this state every week, and they know that we're there to help them. And our whole goal is to protect every citizen of Michigan from being attacked, threatened, defrauded, any sort of crime. Our goal is to help stop it.
Okay. As we mentioned when we talked that COVID finished, but COVID has two major problems that it create because of COVID. And one of them is the kids, instead of being playing with his friend in the schools and all that, he's sitting next to the monitor and get into social media all day long. And that social media sometimes play in their head. And they get too deep in it that they get mental health out of it. And of course, mental health, I'm going to continue with that. Mental health, the people with mental health, they think if they take drugs, okay, they'll forget about what's happening, So tell me, how are you dealing with this? Mental health, watching the internet, and then taking drugs.
Yeah, we are seeing a rise in crime from youth who are, like you said, becoming radicalized on the internet, no matter what the ideology is, believing, taking their anger and believing they need to commit an act of violence on behalf of some belief, no matter what it is. And what we try and do, and what we are really focused on, is as we identify those, say we get a tip from a mom or another student of someone who wants to commit a school attack.
Yes.
We work with our local law
And some of them
enforcement,
did
and some of them
commit the
have,
suicide.
and we try and give them to the mental health resources they need.
Mhm.
We aren't just in the business of arresting people, we're in the business of protecting people, and sometimes that means getting them to the resources here in the community that we actively work with as well, because often, like I said, we're trying to stop threats before they materialize.
Yes,
And
but we have, because of the drugs we're hearing in PV and all that, there's a lot of drug addicts and the drug dealers in Michigan.
yeah,
What you with other law enforcement did to stop that?
yeah. So we are actively, well, the FBI director has made a new priority of crushing violent crime, and
Okay.
stopping the flow of drugs into Michigan is a big part of that. And so
Yes.
we work big cases on organized crime groups that are bringing in multi-kilos of drugs and trying to stop those, and actually having great success at stopping those from going into the local communities. But it's a partnership. It's not just the FBI. It's us working with the local departments and our state police to stop any sort of drug trafficking and from stopping it getting into the hands of our youth.
Yeah, and you work with other FBI in different states. By the way, this interview is going to be in every state in the nation. So they might hear, especially Asian, watch this, that you are working with other one from different state to probably there is some crime that it passed this Michigan, or it comes up from different state to Michigan. So you have that communication?
Yes, and that's where that gives you that federal connection. So it's not just a crime that's affecting inside of Michigan. It's something that crosses state boundaries. We have 56 field offices across the United States. And then here in Michigan, we have 11 smaller offices all over the state to make sure that we are able to quickly respond and help anyone in the state dealing with a crime.
Yeah. Let's get to the Middle Eastern American community. And there is a lot in general fear about the FBI. And that fear came from the old country, because if somebody went to Mukhabarat, which is, the FBI, you'll never see him out. They have that fear. A lot of federal agency, honestly, they cut that. We got it from the immigration. They used to refuse to go to immigration. Now you go and see in the lobby, there's about 50, 100 of them, So with the FBI, did you trying to give better picture to the FBI, to the community?
Yeah, so I think a big message that I'd love the Middle Eastern community, especially here in Michigan, to know is that the
Yes.
FBI is there to protect and serve them just like we serve every Michigander.
Uh-huh.
And I've been really focused on building partnerships and some relationships to where we can have that dialogue, that the community feels safe in reporting any sort of suspicious behavior or threats they're experiencing or fraud they're experiencing, because no one should feel afraid to call the FBI if they're a victim of a crime or they're experiencing some sort of threat. And that takes time to build that trust, but that's
Yes.
what we're committed to doing, because the Middle Eastern community here in Michigan is a vibrant part and a really important part of Michigan.
Do you have a staff in your organization from the Middle Eastern community? Because as you look at Michigan, it's multi-part of all ethnic minority. And those ethnic minority, each one have different culture. The way he talk, the way he dress, the way, a lot of different culture. And if you have some people in your staff that understand this culture, it's going to be building bridges.
100%.
That bridges will be strong.
Yeah.
Right.
So just as Michigan is incredibly diverse, and that's what makes it really a strong state and strong economy, the FBI values the same thing. Because to your point, we need people who understand both how to communicate, understand the dynamics, and help our citizens feel safe. Sometimes they just feel safer talking to someone who looks like them.
Yes.
And it's not always just talking to a white person.
Okay.
And so the FBI does prioritize recruiting from all communities, ethnic groups, religious groups, so that we can represent, the FBI can represent the diversity of the American public that we serve.
Okay. Are you hiring?
We are definitely hiring.
Okay.
We're doing a big push on hiring special agents.
Okay.
So if you have a college degree and you're between the ages of 23 and 37,
College degree between 23 and 27.
37,
37. Okay, good.
and haven't taken drugs and want to serve and
Mm-hmm.
have a job that gives you a real sense of purpose, we want to talk to you. We want
I see.
everyone. So that's the special agent route. We also have intelligence analysts. We have linguists. We have people who work in the business side of the FBI, like finance and HR. Really, any job that a business has, the FBI has it too.
I see. Well, how long it take him to go to FBI Academy and graduate till he become working in FBI?
So by the time you go through the hiring process, which we're trying to make as fast as possible, trying to
Uh-huh.
get it down to 6 months,
Okay.
then you go to Quantico for 20 weeks, and you get taught how to shoot and how to understand the Constitution and the laws that we uphold, and how to do basic tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, you get assigned out to a field office, and we're helping people go back to offices that they came from. So if we have someone from Michigan who wants to return, we're doing a better, there's more opportunities for that to happen.
I see. And there is the FBI, like people work for the FBI in civil issue.
In civil?
Business Academy, or what they call it.
Yeah, we do.
And we have Auni Fakhouri, he's in our board, and he is part of it too.
We do. We have a Citizens Academy.
Citizen Academy, yeah.
And we have people in the community who get to come to a 10-week, one night a week
Uh-huh.
course. And you get to learn about the FBI, you get to ask questions, learn about the types of crimes that we investigate, and then you get to go to a firearms day, and they become ambassadors for us in the community.
It's good to have them because they understand the community.
Yeah.
And they could be, again, build the bridges between the community and the FBI.
Yeah.
Jennifer, how you feel when you get a criminal, and then you give him to the court to get his sentence, and then the judge, and instead of giving him 10 years, you'll give him 3 months, and he's back in the street doing the same crime.
It's really disheartening at times because there's many crimes. Let's take fraud or a white collar where someone steals someone's life savings.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we see that happen where they actually get a shorter sentence. Unfortunately, the FBI has no say in that decision. We present the facts. We make sure we work the case as thoroughly as we can and provide all of that to the judge and the court and the trial jury. And then the judge makes that decision.
That's bad.
It can be
because all
discouraging.
the work of federal agency and all that, and the judge, he doesn't feel that this person deserved 10 years.
Right.
You know, but the problem, when he give him a 3 months, after 3 months, he's in the street committing the same crime.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do see repeat offenders. Not everyone. Some people are able to make that change they need to in their lives, but sometimes we see it often in the crimes against children when people are victimizing youth or doing, like we've talked about, human trafficking together or the fraud space. We see people commit crimes again. And then the FBI, if we get that information, we will start that case again.
Okay. Money laundering, as you know, the Middle Eastern community, some of them, I could say about 25% of them, they work in cash. You know, there's no checks around. You know, most of the credit card, but most of the cash, you know. Do you take a look at the money laundering if we have a money laundering in the state of Michigan?
We do. Money laundering does violate federal law.
Okay.
Structuring or trying to hide
Does
illegal
it exist?
proceeds. Yeah, we definitely have cases
Okay.
that do that. And unfortunately, people think it's okay to steal money, hide money, take illegal money and try and make it look legitimate. That's where that money laundering piece comes in.
Yes.
But if it's not illegal funds or funds that were received by doing illegal activity, it doesn't fall underneath that statute. It has to be tied to a criminal activity.
Yes.
And then that money is meant to be purposely hidden to make it look legitimate.
I see. Again, let's go back to the community. And the community, they fear going to the FBI, all that. But they claim, because they are different religion, if it's Muslim or other, you know, because there's discrimination against them. Okay. What they should do?
I'm sad that they feel that way. The FBI does not investigate anyone based solely on their First Amendment protected rights, such as their race, their religion, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, their gender. We only focus on federal criminal violations and people trying to conduct criminal activity that would
So
violate a federal law.
the FBI and probably other federal agency, they're not targeting any community because of their religion.
No, we do not target anyone solely based upon their religion. There might be times where a person of any religion is doing criminal activity.
Absolutely. And we want them to go to jail because it's affecting the community.
We do not, and our whole goal, the FBI's whole role, and I say it also again to the Middle Eastern community, is that we are there to protect every citizen of Michigan, and that from all types of crime. And so we don't look at, oh, this person is Christian, or this person is Muslim, or this person is a woman.
Yes.
So let's open a case on them because they're doing criminal activity. If we get information or allegation of criminal activity, we will investigate it fully and follow those facts wherever they take us.
I see. In the Middle Eastern community, we're talking about money laundering, but there is no money laundering. They save the money and they build shopping center with it. And they save the money. This is the idea there. From back home, they don't work in checks and banks and all that. They hide the money, and then when there is a business, they bring all the money and buy the business.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
Well, I don't know the facts of that particular scenario. If it's not illegally procured funds, and they're not illegally purchasing property, then there would be no federal crime, and there'd be no fear for people to be afraid of the FBI. It's when people are using funds illegally or taking money from criminal activity and putting it towards something else and trying to hide it, that's when you'd have a violation of federal law, if that makes sense.
When the people transfer money from here to their relative or a friend overseas, how you look at that? Did you investigate that, why he's doing that?
There would be some different facts for every scenario, correct? Depending on the fact of where the money came from and where is that money going. If it's to foster criminal activity, such as, let's say, buying drugs or moving drugs, or helping someone, let's just use their money overseas because they've defrauded an elderly citizen.
I see.
And they've stolen, and now they're sending that money overseas. That would be a problem. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But if you saved your money from this amazing show and sent it to a family member back home, there wouldn't be a crime there, so there would be nothing for us to investigate.
That's great.
Does that make sense?
What's that?
Does that help?
Absolutely, absolutely. See, there's misconception. We cut that with the immigration. We cut that with other, but still with the FBI and Homeland Security, and I'm going to come to ICE activities and how you handle it.
How does the FBI handle ICE activities? Well,
Are they getting involved when there is desperation of 1,000 people against a building or the ICE building or a building, federal building that, that they think they're spying on them?
Sure. So ICE is a separate federal agency,
of course,
as HSI is. And I encourage you to talk to Kevin Raycraft, the head of ICE here in Michigan. He's an amazing person. For the FBI, what I can speak to is we do not investigate anyone, for their First Amendment protected activity. So we all have a right to our free speech, the right to assemble, a right to protest. Where it starts crossing the line is when people start taking their beliefs and they start conducting criminal activity, conducting vandalism,
building,
extorting, threatening people, burning cars, especially if it's a federal building. That's when there would be that federal nexus for either HSI or FBI to investigate. Or if they take their beliefs and start terrorizing a normal citizen, say someone came and didn't like your show and attacked your car in your home, that would be taking their beliefs too far.
Absolutely.
But they could stand outside this building and protest your show, and they would have that right as long as they didn't then cross that line into criminal action.
Yeah, I see. I know you are visiting a lot of Middle Eastern function. And we appreciate that from you because when you visit this function, you talked about the issue of the community. You look at their culture and you understand a lot of things. This community, not just the Middle Eastern. If it's the Indian, if it's the Polish, if Italian, it's good to be part of your staff because of understanding the culture. See, this is very important for a lot of people. And there is misconception about the FBI toward that ethnic minority.
Yeah, for me, the Middle Eastern community is such an important part of Michigan.
Yes.
And I've been so welcomed by them. I feel like a part of the family, and they always cook amazing food for me. But in all of these engagements, my whole focus is I can understand people better when I get to talk one-on-one. And we get to break down the barriers. I get to hear what their concerns are for their families, for their businesses, for the community, and hopefully provide some additional information that they may not have known to understand what the FBI is actually focused on.
Okay.
And that we actually do care about this community deeply, and we're here to keep them safe and want to do everything we can. If there's any sort of threats or attacks or criminal activity affecting the Middle East community, we want to know about it so we can help stop it.
Yeah. How do you feel about the II?
The who?
The AI, the intelligent, and
Yeah, AI is artificial intelligence. So be clear
Yes.
what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Offers a lot of great opportunity for all
Okay.
of us.
Yeah.
It does feel sometimes that the information is moving faster than the speed of light, right? And
Yes.
we're all learning very quickly. But for the FBI, and especially here in Michigan, what we're seeing is AI is an accelerant for crime.
Yes.
It's allowing people to defraud people, to pretend that they're you calling a family member, trying to get them to give money. It's causing criminals to find new ways to hurt people.
And they play a major role in the social media too.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake content
Yes,
online.
fake context. Yes.
And
How you deal with it?
the FBI is on the cutting edge of making sure we're staying ahead of all of those kinds of threats. We've actually, in the Western District of Michigan, on the west side of the state, had one of the first prosecutions against a criminal who was using AI to create child pornography.
Yes.
And we were one of the first districts and the first offices to bring that type of charge against someone. So we are actively making sure that we understand the technology, that we have the tools we need to counter how criminals could be using it. And then a lot of it is informing the public not to believe everything they see and everything they hear. And
Are
read.
you using it in the FBI office? And you know, I had Tariq Sabah and Susie, the president of Lawrence Tech University, and she is Walsh College, and we talk about this because they are technology.
Yes.
And I mentioned that losing job or committing crime, or you know, this is part of the criminal could use that AI toward that.
Yeah, and this director and this administration has been the most forward-leaning that we've ever had in getting those tools to the FBI.
Yes.
So we do have tools now available to FBI agents and analysts to help us work faster. I tell my office, crime is moving fast. We have to be faster. And I'm very grateful for the director and his leadership in that space and helping the FBI become as current as we can with what the criminal actors are wanting to have access to.
I see. Any other thing that you think there is a project that the FBI working on it now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things we're working on. One thing I
If you
do...
could highlight a couple of them.
Yeah, I want to definitely highlight.
Sure.
In our fraud space, cryptocurrency fraud and crypto investment fraud is some of the top fraud schemes that we see here in Michigan. Hundreds of millions of dollars that people are investing, not realizing that it's a scam. And so we have an initiative called Operation Level Up, where we are proactively calling 300 victims a month, people that we see being actively defrauded, trying to get them to stop giving money to the fraudsters, trying to convince them that we are actually telling them the truth and the person on the other end of the phone is a liar. And so the FBI is at the forward front. We're not just waiting for someone to lose their money. We're trying to help people before they lose their money so that they stop giving it. And we've actually been able to save close to $1 billion for victims over the last, since 2024, so the last 2 years, by calling people and actively stopping it. So that's an area that I'm really passionate about because the people's money, like we talked about, is their livelihood, it's their family,
and
it's their
especially
future.
all those people that, you know, they could fear of somebody calling them or somebody put their picture or that.
Yeah.
They go and pay.
Right. And
Yeah.
the criminals know how to convince people to act now and to, you can't tell anyone. And they really try and isolate victims, no matter what the age. And we are seeing our elderly community being targeted, especially targeted. 60% of the crime is actually focused on them because they're more susceptible
I
to
see.
those kinds of attacks, basically. And so we're very focused in that space. We actually also are doing a lot to crush violent crime, like we talked about.
Okay.
This summer, we have special initiatives called Operation Summer Heat all across the state, where we're proactively going out with our local law enforcement to stop gun violence before it occurs, to stop drug activity before it occurs. Because in the summer, we always know that the criminal activity goes up.
Yes. Are you taking a look at, or it's only local enforcement for the teenagers that they are in the street, and suddenly you see about 50 to 70 of them, jump on that, and could be somebody killed there too.
That's a great question. The chiefs in each of the districts, I've seen Chief Shaheen do a great job, and in Dearborn Heights be really proactive, and I believe in Oakland County, they've been proactive to stop it. They don't need federal assistance, and even
But Wayne County's happening.
in Wayne County, and Chief Bedison has done a great job. We've talked about it. We've talked about how the FBI could help. So if there is some sort of shooting or violent act and they need additional assistance, we've helped in that space. But just the teen takeover doesn't fall to a federal nexus until you have that criminal
But there's a good possibility something bad will happen.
It is.
When they are hyper and probably smoking something, drugs and all that, and probably they carry a gun. So if something happened, they'll be today reaching to the gun and killing people. It's every day I hear about it.
It's coming a lot. And so we have agents on the homicide task force with DPD. We work our task forces here in Oakland County, Wayne County, all over the state, so that we can quickly respond to those violent acts. And then any chief who calls and asks for support, additional resources, we were there to help them.
Well, at the end, I want you to give 1 minute message to the Middle Eastern community, especially for hiring, and what you're looking for.
For hiring? Yeah. Like you and I have talked about, the diversity that the Middle Eastern community brings to Michigan is also the same kind of diversity we're looking for in the FBI.
Thank you.
And the cultural depth and understanding and language abilities and just incredible capabilities that the Middle Eastern community brings from understanding the international environment and understanding here in Michigan. We would definitely encourage people to look at FBIjobs.gov and see if there's a role that they think fits for them, whether it be a linguist, an agent, analyst, or professional staff. The FBI's doors are open to anyone who wants to serve in America.
Great. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for all this information. I know you've been appointed not too long ago.
Yeah, about 9 months now.
9 months? Well,
goes fast.
Good luck. Goes fast, especially this year.
This
it goes so fast, unbelievable.
Yes.
So thank you again for coming here and give us all this information.
I appreciate your show and appreciate what you're doing in the community.
Sure. Dear viewer, that was my interview with Jennifer Runyan, and she's especially in charge of the FBI. And honestly, yes, especially for the people who are newcomer to the United States in the past 20 or 30 years, and they fear going to any federal agency back home, because if you go to any federal agency, that's the end of your life, okay? They are open to you. They are welcoming you. If you have any tip that to help them, you're helping yourself, because the criminal, when have his act, is affecting you too, and affecting your family and your community. So please reach to them, give them the tip, and we're gonna put the slide it in the screen, the
1-800 call FBI.
Call FBI. So please work with them, and if you are be proud of your community and your family if you join the FBI. It's something that to be proud of it. So please, if you could, mom and dad, give them this opportunity. Doctor and attorney, there's a lot of them, but special agent, we need them there. We need them. And probably one day you're going to need them because he understands the culture and the language. So please encourage your kids to join the FBI. Thanks for watching and good night.